Now, China says it will impose sanctions on U.S. officials who have performed badly over Hong Kong issues. It's also stripped American diplomats of visa-free access to Hong Kong and Macau. The move is in response to the Trump administration's sanctions over Hong Kong's controversial national security law. Washington has already imposed financial sanctions and a travel ban on 14 members of China's top legislature.
中方再次敦促美方立即停止插手香港事务，停止干涉中国内政，不要在错误和危险的道路上越走越远。
US President-elect Joe Biden is expected to tap China expert Katherine Tai as his top trade negotiator. If confirmed, she'll be on the front line of repairing relations with Beijing after a damaging trade war. Ms. Tai already has experience in this area, including successfully prosecuting trade violation cases against Beijing at the World Trade Organization. She'll also become the country's first Asian American to serve in the post. At the same time, it's understood Mr. Biden is also considering giving the post of ambassador to China to former Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg. Many believe Mr. Buttigieg will run for president again one day, and such a posting could give China a chance to know a potential future US leader. And for more, Simon Marks joins us live from Washington, D.C. Simon, what do these nominations say about future relations with China?
Well, I think we should say, first of all, Steve, that these are simply reports. They have not been confirmed in any sense by the Biden transition team yet, but they do suggest that Joe Biden is prioritizing China, certainly in terms of trade. Katherine Tai does not have a substantial public profile here in the United States. She's been a trade lawyer working for the House Ways and Means Committee most recently, but before that, she was a China enforcement head in the office of the U.S. Trade Representative. She speaks fluent Mandarin, and as you said, she's presented cases at the World Trade Organization in the past. So it certainly would indicate, were she to be nominated, that Joe Biden thinks the job of the U.S. Trade Representative in very large measure is going to be to focus on China, as will be inevitable given what we've seen over the last couple of years and the trade war that President Trump has waged against Beijing. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, was reportedly considered as a possible U.S. ambassador to the United Nations by Joe Biden. He went in a different direction. Mayor Pete was very critical of China's human rights record and prioritized that criticism every time he talked about China on the campaign trail, certainly surfacing his concerns about the treatment of Uyghurs in Xinjiang. He faulted the Democratic Party for not having espoused a consistent foreign policy towards China and other issues over the last many years. So were he to be nominated for that post, and it also requires Capitol Hill confirmation, that would certainly be sending a signal to Beijing that human rights issues would remain very much on the agenda, because Pete Buttigieg has been very outspoken about that.
Simon, we reported earlier on the latest Chinese sanctions against U.S. officials. Have we had reaction from the U.S. to this latest move?
No, but I mean, at this point, Jill, it's hard to know where the tennis ball lies on the court. I mean, it's been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. The Chinese now essentially saying that they will target U.S. lawmakers who, as they put it, have behaved inappropriately towards Hong Kong, just as the United States earlier this week again unveiled fresh sanctions targeting Chinese parliamentarians, 14 of them, for their involvement in what the United States calls repression in Hong Kong. It is perfectly possible that we will see more reprisals from the United States over the next few days and weeks. There's no indication that the Trump administration plans to alleviate any of the pressure, indeed only seems to want to increase it as the sands of time expire on Donald Trump's presidency.
Many thanks. Simon Marks is in Washington, D.C.